What？ 今天我们要深夜去探访多伦多最危险的街区。我们今天首先要拜访的这个地方是 Regent Park。Shooting happened just before midnight outside a home on. 如果你在谷歌进入多伦多最危险的街区，
Shooting in Regent Park last night that killed one man and
这个地方排名第一。这个区域是第二次世界大战后为当地游民建立的保障住房，之后很快就成了毒品交易和各个帮派的大本营。近1个世纪以来，一直都是多伦多市政府最头疼的大事。多年来，多伦多一直希望通过投资建立高层公寓来改变这个区域的脏乱差。Sorry, excuse me. Do you live here? I see you come out from here.
Yeah, my friend's house.
Oh, your friend's house. 但是当地居民通过抗议来阻止投资，改变这个区域的现状。因为担心高层公寓炒高了地价，当地居民就更负担不起了。Hey man, excuse me. I'm sorry. Is this Regent Park?
It is, yes. Actually, it does have a bad name.
So how long have you been live here?
I've been here since 1999.
Wow, it's 25 years.
I'm ready to move.
Okay. So what do you think is the 25 years of change?
A lot of murders, drug-related.
What's your name?
Helen.
Helen. My name is Bowen.
Bowen.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What? We are doing a documentary of my buddy. 我在街头遇到了前摇滚乐手 Joseph， 他被毒品影响了超过25年时间，因此而放弃了音乐事业。我第一眼看见他就知道他曾经从事艺术相关事业。更神奇的是，我能看到他早年有被性侵的经历，我也不知道为什么，当时就是一种感觉。Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. Give me your number.
Okay.
What is it?
432.
432. American?
Okay. Yeah, it's American. I do music too, you know?
Are you beautiful?
That way, we're gonna get fame. Me and you,
Yeah,
we're gonna get fame. I got another story for you.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Wherever you want us to meet up, come.
Yeah. 今天我们来听他讲述他的人生故事。The residential school, how that started?
It wasn't a residential school. It was a youth detention center. It was like a kids' prison.
Okay.
It was very tough. It was like that movie Sean Penn plays in, Bad Boys. So you had about 100 kids in there, and they all wanted to be alpha. So kids were sexually assaulting other kids. It was no different than men's prison, if not worse, because there was nobody was mature enough to say, look, this is not how you act. Let's just get through our time and go home. These guys wanted to beat everybody up and wanted to be the big, hoo-ha and god of the range.
Have you ever been sexual assaulted?
I was sexually assaulted. First time I lived in Flemington Park. After my mom, I was taken from my mom at birth, and she was 14 years old. She got custody of me after fighting for 6 years in 311 Jarvis Court against the Toronto Children's Aid Society.
Your mom, when she had you, she was 14.
14 years old, yeah. My dad was 15. And they took me right from my mom's womb, right from birth, brought me into CAS care, brought my mom to a church, and they brought her to a basement where a couple nuns tried to talk to my mom and tell her, go back to school, don't worry about it, he'll be fine. And my mom hit the roof and basically said, that's my fucking kid, and I love him, and there's no way you're going to take custody of him or you're going to take him away from me. I just carried him for 9 months, and he's everything I've ever wanted and ever dreamed about, And believe it or not, I was a ginger-haired kid. I was a redhead kid when I came out, a little Irish kid, like my mom's roots, very strong roots she had. But she got custody of me again when she was 20 years old. I moved back in with my mom, and from that time on, my dad would pop in periodically, playing Santa Claus, showering me with gifts, showering my mother with fists, me with gifts. How ironic. Breaking my mom's jaw, shit like that, like beating her real bad like a man. And one Christmas he beat my mom up so bad, he left her with a fractured orbital bone around her eye, a broken jaw, 2 broken teeth, black eyes, so swollen she couldn't even see. They looked like plums. And he took all the presents back from the Christmas tree, and I had no Christmas that year, and he smashed the whole apartment to pieces. And that was a really bad Christmas. That was on Victoria Park and Eglinton Avenue in Scarborough. Then we moved to Flemington Park, where at 8 years old I was molested by a 19-year-old boy from the area. Got me to try to perform oral sex on him. I went down between his legs and darted between his knees and took off down the stairs. I was pretty street smart at that point, from hanging out in the projects and that with bad kids, you know, and hot wiring cars and stuff like that, smoking hash. And I was probably 8 or 10 years old at this time. But the kid got arrested, and when he was released the next day, my mom said, "That's it, we're moving." So we up and packed and we moved to Gilder Drive, which is by Kennedy Station in Scarborough. The last station on the train stop, and that ended up being an absolute horrifying experience because I was about 10 years old. There was nothing but race wars there at the time. There was a lot of blacks on whites at that time. It was very, very strenuous and stressful, and I'd witness off my balcony like 15, 20 black guys beating on 3 to 4 white guys, like beating them till they were hospitalized. Blood everywhere, and you know, screams of horror while they're getting hurt. So anyways, at this point I became a really, really bad egg. Due to what happened to me in residential school at 14, I was held down forcefully by a priest. I was sodomized. I'm sure everybody knows what that is. It means being fucked by a guy in your ass, to be blunt. And I'm sorry for being so blunt on the internet here with you people, but I'm trying to get the message across, and hopefully it'll help people, but I want people to really understand the true graphic nature of what happened. He didn't even bother to spit on his hand or his penis or anything. He just drove it in raw. He ripped me apart. I hemorrhaged inside, almost bled to death. That's how bad I was ruptured inside my guts. And I was rushed to a doctor, my family doctor, and that he checked me out, and me and my mom talked about it, and I wasn't having very small bowel movements because I was a chubby kid, I was a heavy kid. So some of my stools were very large, like my bowel movements. So that's what I played it off of to my doctor, and my mom kind of believed it, and he believed it. It wasn't until I was 27, 28 years old when I came out one day and looked at my mom and just literally broke down, bawled my eyes out and told her, "Mom, those weren't nothing to do with bowel movements or me having problems going to the bathroom and being bound up. It was me, I got raped, and not one time, numerous times, by different people that worked there, different priests, different bishops, different guards. And it got to the point where I started stabbing other residents there, other children, and letting them really know who the fuck they're playing with now, and how serious I was. And I became a very extremely violent individual because I was preyed upon so much because I was a pretty small kid, right? I'm not a big guy now. I'm 130 pounds and I'm almost 6 foot. Stint when I did 7 months in St. John's Training School for Boys in Uxbridge, Ontario. It was very, very Catholic. We would have to go to church every single day for an hour, Monday to Saturday, sorry. And on Sundays, it would be like 3, 4, 5 hour church sessions where we'd have a meal and go back to church, and like a whole day of being in school. And it was absolutely mind-wrecking. I absolutely hated it, because these people were touching me in ways I didn't want to be touched sexually, hurting me physically, hurting other kids physically. We came back one day from playing ice hockey, and a young boy by the name of Wayne Robichaud from New Brunswick, he was hanging in the shower. He hung himself. He was a 12-year-old boy. We started a band about 14, 15 years old. So for a shock value, people love this. This is 1989, 1990. And we got a call from Sean Pilot saying, "Pack your bags, we're flying to Montreal and New York. We're going to open up the Ramones." great things happened, man. We started playing, touring everywhere across the states, Philadelphia, Chicago, LA, New York, Miami. So we'd hit back in Canada, play across Canada. Unfortunately, we were introduced to a little thing called heroin, and all our rock star idols did it. So we thought, you know, what's this gonna hurt? This is what rock and roll people do, right? It's part of the seance, basically what you do when you get called upon the gods to be a true rock and roll star. So we'd put our arm out and let people fix us. The feeling was absolutely incredible, like nothing I've ever felt before. Nothing, a hug my mother never could ever give me, or a love and cuddling she could never give me, and warmth and security I've never felt in my life. It was like being a baby in a baby blanket wrapped in your mother's bosom. I ended up on life support twice from such bad overdoses from fentanyl and carfentanil, which is now the drug. There's no heroin now.
好了，今天的这些故事就到这里，记得订阅这个频道，我们下一期见。
Next time, if I bring an acoustic guitar, do you think that you will allow us to sing in here?
Not here, but I know Subway, we go to Spadina Station, and it's a better sound.
Okay.
And also I could make money while you're filming.
Beautiful.
Right? So I could show you how I perform. Whenever. Tomorrow. I'm down.
Really?
100%. I'm down.
I love you, bro.
It's a shake. Yep. 100%. Son displacement. 110%.